Hey guys, welcome to the WAN show here. Do you want to scooch over? Where we debate whether or not it's okay to say the word butthurt on the WAN show. I personally think it's okay because okay, hold on. Because it can't really be without this getting too vile.
Graphic?
Hold on, just because it's not a sexual preference thing. Everyone has a butt, and there's plenty of there's plenty of stuff that can be done regardless of sexual orientation.
Yes, of course.
It's not, a female or male thing. Everyone has a butt. Everyone's butt can hurt.
Yes, okay. Ignoring the gender thing entirely, you could even take it from the stance of what
stance would you take it from exactly?
Usually a slave. Anyways, but you could take it from a fell while skateboarding.
Yeah, butt hurt.
Your butt would probably hurt.
Yeah, as long as you weren't grinding a rail or anything like that.
And then something else might hurt.
Lots of things could hurt.
Yes, well, and of course, while falling while skateboarding, anything else could hurt. But if you fell while skateboarding on your butt, your butt would probably hurt. I also know people that have had tailbone injuries, which usually reference that as a butt injury.
Right, unless you were wearing a helmet.
On your butt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Butt helmet.
Kim Kardashian probably needs a butt helmet.
I wouldn't think so. I would think it would be more she has a built-in airbag. Yeah, didn't one of her sisters have her butt implants leaking or something? Wasn't that...
I don't know. They're gross. No, I don't even find them attractive, to be completely honest.
No, my whole thing is I get all of my celebrity gossip from the magazine stand at the grocery store.
Yes, okay.
Because I go to the grocery store exactly often enough that I'm hearing about it within my tolerance for how much I can hear about it, and I'm not learning too much.
And you don't watch TV or anything really.
But I'll also be aware of sort of what everyone else is talking about and stuff. So I find it's a good balance for me. Right, so this week on the WAN show, NVIDIA did a bunch of things and people didn't like it.
And so did Comcast. No one liked those either.
Comcast did lots of stuff people didn't like. The FCC did stuff people liked. And what else we got?
And there's Oculus technology that can make it so you don't see advertisements in real life.
It's not Oculus technology. It has nothing to do with Oculus, and it isn't even virtual reality.
It does have stuff to do with Oculus.
Okay, well, it's augmented reality.
It uses an Oculus.
It has to do with HoloLens.
It uses an Oculus.
You use an Oculus.
It is.
You use an Oculus. You can't. We're trying to have a debate here, and you're ignoring the things I'm saying that are true.
Seriously, the guy's looking through an Oculus with a camera on the front of it.
I could argue that someone looking through any kind of optical viewing device is looking through an Oculus.
Cars are mainly based off of the windshield.
Yeah, it's a windshield Oculus. I hate this show.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Our sponsors today are Squarespace. They're gonna have a Super Bowl Oculus. And Loot Crate. You might just be looking at your loot through an Oculus craze. And finally, iFixit. Need to fix your Oculus? Bam! Right there. They've got the tools for you to get that job done. So thank you to our sponsors. Let's move on with the show. Yes, it is still Christmas. Yes, we know. The problem is that Luke's Twitter handle isn't fixed on the non-Christmas one. And we did promise as part of Tipstarter. By the way, we still need to do the body paint one. That's going to be hilarious. But one of our...
a few.
Yeah, one of our Tipstarter commitments was to fix Luke's Twitter handle, so if we undo it now, then we're basically terrible people.
Screwed up. Okay, so let's see. We have done the Twitter handle thing.
Yeah.
We released the Stormtrooper rap audio.
Yeah.
We did WAN Show as girls.
Yeah.
We did LTT Under Fire.
Yeah.
We have not done body paint.
We still need to do Clown Costume WAN Show and body paint, and we need to get Wingardium Get the Bleep Back to Work Luke. So we need to get our Harry Potter Daniel Radcliffe stand-up cardboard guy to stand over your desk.
And we need a speech bubble as well.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
It's going to be kind of great. I'll look to that for inspiration every time I find myself on Imager.
All right, so what I think we need to do here is basically just get right into the big topic this week. I mean, there was an absolute bomb. So the story kind of broke simultaneously on overclock.net and on Reddit with people running a utility where they discovered...
That's usually how Reddit works.
Yeah. So users of GTX 970 graphics cards were running a utility that was showing them the memory the memory bandwidth they were getting from the board's VRAM sort of block by block as they made their way through the entire capacity. And what people discovered is that the first 3.5 gigs of the 4 gigs of advertised VRAM were running at full speed, and that the last 500 megs or so were actually running at a speed of about 1/7 the rest of the VRAM. So initially, NVIDIA was saying not a whole lot of much of anything, and they were just kind of going, we'll get back to you on that. And then from there, NVIDIA kind of reached out to some key members of the press. So the articles that I personally read were on AnandTech, PC Per, as well as Tech Report, since I have a lot of respect for the Ryans and Scott. It's like, and
Ryans.
Scott.
And,
Ryan Smith, Ryan Shrout, they're both Ryans.
Yeah.
I could call them Shrout, Smith, and Wasson.
There you go.
No one would know what the devil I'm talking about. And a Smith and Wasson kind of sounds like a gun.
I actually recognize...
and when you fire it, it goes Shrout, 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 Shrout.
Shrout, yeah. I actually recognize Shrout more than Ryan. I don't know why.
He does go by that.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So anyway, I read their articles, and basically NVIDIA reached out to these guys and explained in much further detail than we had access to in the past how exactly the memory controller works on the GTX 970. Now, the GTX 980 is completely unaffected by the issue because it features all of the ROPs, all of the cache, and all of the memory controller goodness of the Maxwell, GM204 chip. Whereas the GTX 970 has, instead of what we've seen in the past, where we'd have like a chunk of memory controller, ROP, SMMs, CUDA cores, where we'd have an entire unit kind of shut off, the GTX 970 only has it sort of partially shut off. So the way that works in the real world is you don't get the cache, you don't get the ROPs, but you do get to put the memory on the card, and you do have access to it, albeit at a significantly reduced data rate. So what that means is NVIDIA's done some tomfoolery with the drivers and the firmware of the card to ensure that the first 3.5 gigs, the high performance part, gets used first, and some applications will see that as a limit, while others will fill up the rest, but only once it's done with the first 3.5 gigs. Now, this is still faster than swapping out to main memory over PCI Express, although not by as much as I would typically like. Can I help you with something?
Yeah, go to that link and put it on screen.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Your thing's different, that's why.
Yeah, I'm not signed into... What the...
I got signed out too. I don't know what's...
You are logged in successfully. You can now refresh
Thanks
the page.
for that super useless page. What the heck was that? Anyways, guys, give us one moment. I'm trying to get a diagram on screen so people can know what you're talking about. This is the one where it shows the crossbar.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen this. It's helpful. Here we go.
Okay, so guy...
Oh.
Hold on.
I can just post it in chat. But, like, I want the archive viewers to be able to see it.
Okay, just a sec.
I like you guys too, man.
Just a sec.
That's
weird.
I'm going to post it in chat in the meantime.
Oh, we didn't check that today. That is extremely unfortunate. Hold on a second.
All right, well, I'm going to let the chat see it.
I got it.
Okay.
We have a directional HDMI cable.
And it's going the wrong way?
Yeah.
Fun.
I love this show.
Yay!
I love this show.
Best show on the internet.
The more I say I love this show, the more you guys know that I am hating my life right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love this show.
Let's plug this baby in.
It's the best show on the internet.
And
it's got the greatest technologies running it. They've got completely the improper mic. They have a mixer and a condenser, which is not even plugged in.
It's not a condenser.
What is it?
It's a compressor.
Compressor.
One does not condense. One does not simply condense audio. All right.
You can condense audio. You just have to take like a 2-minute audio clip and put it into 1 minute. So you just like it's like fast forwarding audio.
All right, so basically the way it works is, and this is perfectly normal for CPUs, GPUs, RAM, whatever else the case may be, when something doesn't get baked just right, and there's a couple bits that are broken. What they'll do, and this diagram shows it pretty well. So here's the level 2 cache that's disabled. Here are some of the SMs that are disabled. Is what it'll, and they won't necessarily be in this spot. Like if this SM is broken and this one or something, that's fine too. That part becomes a GTX 970 instead of a 980. So basically, we've got all the memory controllers, and this was something that we'd never seen before. NVIDIA being able to, with a great degree of granularity, disable only certain parts of the chip. So NVIDIA's story, and I think I'm with the other guys on this one, I think I believe this, is that the engineers and the technical marketing guys weren't synced up correctly on how this worked, and the technical marketing guys assumed that they couldn't disable with this level of granularity and gave an incorrect spec initially for the GTX 970. Saying it had the same number of ROPs as the GTX 980 and the same amount of cache, which in the end, it turned out it did not. So NVIDIA kind of went, yep, hey, whoa, we flubbed on this. And sort of, that's all very well and believable. But I think where people are truly upset is because NVIDIA is now saying, so we've gotten further into this, NVIDIA is saying, blah, 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 yes, it's by design. Here we're showing you how the crossbar works and how the communication works. Because NVIDIA is saying that this is by design, I think the reason people are upset is because for all intents and purposes, the GTX 970
hey, you said it right.
Does have 4 gigabytes of GDDR5 memory on it, but given that an eighth of it runs at only about 50% faster than swapping out to system memory. The reason people are upset is because, is that really usable?
It almost doesn't count. It's there, sure, whatever. I guess you can put that on the box, but it's not really effective, and that's kind of bullcrap.
Now, I've seen a lot of different arguments here. Things like AMD tweeted. Actually, we've got a link to this. Here we go. So Robert Halleck from AMD tweeted, AMD 4 gigs means 4 gigs. Which
AMD's been taking shots all over the place. Yeah,
they've been just they've got NVIDIA in the headlock, and they're like, yeah, how's your kidney like that one? Yeah, how about this one? Yeah. But quite frankly, I see some parallels that people are drawing that I can kind of get on board with. Like the fact that both AMD and NVIDIA advertise dual GPU graphics cards as having 8 gigs of RAM or 6 gigs of RAM, when anyone technical enough knows that effectively it's only half that amount.
But a lot of people don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. And to me, that has always been a very gray way of advertising. But
honestly, that was a confusing thing when I first got into computers and they first started releasing those cards. I was like, oh, sweet, they just ramped everything up. Even knowing how that works, I just assumed that there was just more RAM.
But that is not how it works. So again, that's always been very gray to me. But the thing that made it somewhat okay is that without really doing any digging, an educated user could go and read up on it, and they were always very upfront about doubling a VRAM by adding 2 GPUs, each with their own frame buffer, does not effectively double the amount of texture information that you can store in the video memory. With this one, it really feels like, having been at the Maxwell launch event, it really feels like they were intentionally not giving us any more information about how Maxwell worked than they absolutely felt like they had to. And I feel like even though they screwed up, perhaps unintentionally, in fact, I'll tell you what, I'm going to say I believe them. I believe that the ROP and cache thing was unintentional, because there are utilities that'll even pick up the GTX 970 doesn't have the full 2 megs of level 2 cache. So that one we probably should have noticed. But the fact that they didn't tell us that an eighth of the memory was running at a significantly lower speed, I don't believe they didn't know that. So the fact that they decided not to tell us and waited for this to come out means they either thought no one would ever notice, which again seems Very unlikely. I mean, NVIDIA knows that obsessives like Shroud over at PC Per, I got the guys I listed before, Scott at Tech Report, Ryan at AnonTech.
Ryan Scott.
They know that these guys are going to obsessively poke and prod at this thing. Surely they couldn't have imagined that no one would figure this out at some point. So was it stupid? Was it mismanagement? Was it deception? I don't know.
Miscommunication for like a crazy long time? Because one of the engineers must have seen some documentation at some point in time that was released by NVIDIA and been like, that's not actually right.
And even not that's not actually right, but even just something as simple as a memory bandwidth spec. I mean, if they had done something kind of shady like average it, like if they'd kind of gone, okay, well, like it's a weighted average, 7 portions this and 1 portion that, and kind of gone, here's the memory bandwidth of the card. If they had done something like that, I kind of might have gone, yeah, okay, were
gross, but sure, I guess.
Super grody. And if they had been upfront and said, okay, well, look, we're rating this as, and they put an asterisk on it, look, we're rating this as an average. I'd have felt a lot better about it, but right now it really does feel like we were intentionally deceived about the fact that some of the memory doesn't run at a faster speed. With that said...
It's like you buy a box of cookies, and 1/8 of the cookies is 1/7 the size of all the other ones.
Yeah, like seven of them have like cream cheese icing, and like one of them has lard on it, and it's like... Well, you probably weren't going to finish all 7 of those because they're really rich and delicious and big. So the fact that one of them has lard on it shouldn't be an issue to you. But that still bothers me if I paid for 8 cookies that are cream cheese icinged.
Yeah, and if you put it in the closet for future use when you buy your larger stomach.
Are you going to work the word proof into here?
Yeah. Yeah,
well, that's proof that you haven't mastered the segue yet.
Oh, but yeah, essentially, like I think part of the reason why I think a lot of people didn't notice yet is I don't know that many or like anyone who's actually really gaming at 4K all the time right now.
Yep.
Once that becomes more of a thing, a lot more people would have noticed a lot faster.
And maybe not. I spent some time with the NCIX Tech Tips guys today, and we filmed a video about it there as well, and they threw a bunch of games at their GTX 970 at 4K, and we're kind of like, let's see how much VRAM we use. And what they discovered is that until Battlefield 4, they managed to get over 3.5 gigs at 4K.
Yeah.
And what they realized is that when it's that classic how much VRAM is the right amount for a graphics card question, because once you start just piling it, like if you put 16 gigs of memory on a GTX 970, that would be asinine, because there's no way that any game that ever exists that would require 16 gigs of VRAM would run on that GPU. So what they discovered is that running Battlefield 4 at 4K was resulting in such a low frame rate that they had to turn the details down, which brought the video memory usage back into the comfort zone.
Right.
So I understand why owners are mad, but I understand NVIDIA's statement about the GTX 970 still being a rockin' awesome product, and we're not going to cut the price on it because it's still awesome at that price. And sorry about the miscommunication.
They need to be, for the rest of the 970's lifespan, they need to be a lot more clear.
Yep.
Because just the people that paid attention during this, and like 6 to 8 months down the line when this isn't as well known, because it's faded away, it still needs to be well known.
And NVIDIA rarely makes a mistake like this twice. I feel like over the last few generations, they've been trying to get, flirtier and flirtier about sort of how things are actually working, how the technology works behind the scenes. I mean, arguably because they don't want their competitors to learn too much about it and find a way to clone it in their next lineup of GPUs or whatever else they're worried about. But I hope that this is a bit of a wake-up call, that they have to at least clearly communicate the speed at which the hardware is running to the members of the tech press that are going to figure this out and call them on it anyway. And I've got a lot of people saying, Linus, come on, don't defend them. Do I sound like I'm defending them?
Devil ZZZ is like, Linus, I am disappointed. They didn't make a mistake. They lied.
Lying is different from misrepresentation, and I do believe that there had to be a significant degree of unintentional going on over here, because there is absolutely no way that NVIDIA completely missed something like they have the wrong amount of cache on a spec sheet intentionally.
There's something to be said about realizing that and then not fixing it, though.
Well, there's nothing they can really do to fix it. They can't add more cache.
No, fixing it, I don't mean in that, but like not notifying the public in any way.
Right.
They waited for it to... God, my throat today. I thought I was better. They waited for it to blow up before trying to contain it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the thing is that I'm not sure how long of a delay there was between NVIDIA realizing this and
I can't imagine it was that long.
I don't think it was that long, because the thing is that, okay, like the way this works behind the scenes is when you're launching a product, whether you're at the retailer side, like I would have been, or whether you're on NVIDIA's side, you've got everyone working around the clock to, you know, get the gussied up pictures looking good and get the spec sheets all right and get the, you know, the video, you know, scheduled to launch on YouTube at the right time. That's like Tom Peterson being all like, oh, but the 970 is amazing. So's the 980. It's even more amazing. That's why I should pay more money for it. And then when the launch is over, everyone kind of goes, and then sits and monitors and makes sure everything's kind of going okay for a couple days, and then it's time to get back to work. And there's something new to work on, whether it's a G-Sync, you know, Synco phone or whatever.
Monitoring phase,
they probably didn't realize yet. Because I'd imagine, okay, think about this: the engineers.
If you're an engineer,
yeah,
and your baby gets released,
yeah,
you're not going to look into any of the release products from your company. And the amount of engineers that must have worked on that, the amount of engineers that must have known the specs for that card and then seen that release documentation.
I don't know. The amount of not my job that I've seen in my life, I gotta wonder. I really gotta wonder.
I've got to imagine there's engineers at NVIDIA that care enough to look into that documentation. I'm willing to assume to a large degree, I'm not sure, but I'm willing to assume to a very large degree that there was at least some amount of internal communication going on.
Okay, well, whatever ended up happening, whatever it was.
Because I don't know.
Because you can choose to believe whatever you will, but the reality of it is no one outside of NVIDIA will ever know the truth. The takeaways here are that they've got their tail between their legs right now. People are understandably extremely upset. I mean, I've even seen...
I'd be pissed. I don't have a 970, but I would be pretty upset.
I mean, we've seen high-level NVIDIA staff on Twitter promising to help people get refunds on their cards if they're that upset about it. AMD's come out and offered, good old Roy.
Oh my god, just shots everywhere.
Yeah, here, I'll pull this up. AMD has started offering people deals on R9 290s with a full 4 gigabytes of memory to anyone returning a GTX 970. Good old Roy. Does this apply to Canadians too or my SOL? Nope, we love Canucks too. Oh man, those guys.
Kind of funny, actually.
So I guess what else is there to really say about this other than people are butthurt, which is why we were debating whether or not we can use that word. And we've decided apparently yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Because we're not relating it to other things.
People are butthurt. They're butthurt because they got screwed. And how hard they got screwed, well, it's really difficult to say.
We're not relating it to other things. They're butthurt because they got screwed. Damn it.
Have you ever heard of something called a corkscrew? If you were to stick that into your gluteus maximus, that would hurt.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So now that we've put that issue to bed.
Yes. Damn it. Roy's home free, and then you're like, no.
I guess all that's really. Do you want to straw poll this? Like, why don't we just?
What are we straw polling?
Straw poll. I don't know.
Whoa.
How about just let's straw poll. I misspelled it. Let's straw poll. How upset are you about GTX 970? So option 1 should be storm in a teacup, which I've seen a lot of people use that exact wording for it, and not to sort of sway the results of the poll at all, but I think that's a load of malarkey. So, let's go with I'm upset, but I'd still buy a 970. And then let's go with Upset would not buy a 970. And then let's go with Upset would not buy any NVIDIA product anymore. So we want to cover the whole spectrum here, and then we'll put in the usual, like, I don't know, cucumber diorama or whatever. All right, are you posting that in Twitch chat?
Yep.
All right, I'll get the link from there. So we'll
takes
go
a
ahead
second
and...
to do straw poll ones because you have to go to the results page.
Sure, yeah, no problem.
Oh,
are you not logged in?
Oh, Twitch, why you do this to me?
Monster
Then it has
fail.
to load the chat separately because it's not running their own thing.
I'll load your chat separately.
Come on, spinny wheel. Please, Sarah, please.
Sarah?
Don't worry about it.
Is that the name of the spinny wheel?
No.
All right.
Okay.
Can you just Google
Yeah,
chat it to me?
I can do that.
I mean, Hangouts it. That is not catchy at all. It's like binging things. Like, nobody bings things.
Do you want to hang out with me on my browser? Because no desktop application? Or I guess there is, but it's garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's that.
The chat never loaded. Wait, what's up?
Oh my gosh. You know that obnoxious BS thing that Google does where if you right-click, copy link in a Google search result?
Yeah, it's like, you should Control-C, Control-V.
No, not that. The one where instead of just being the link, it's a Google trackable link.
Oh, yeah.
So they're doing it in Hangouts now.
Really?
So the link I posted in here, instead of just being strawpoll.me/ is like Google whatever. Yeah, pretty obnoxious.
Whoa, I've never...
See, it's new.
Whoa, that's gross. That's really long.
Yeah, it's like, can you just not? Can you just actually stop doing that? Thank you, Google. That would be great.
That's garbage. Like, I want to see what website I'm going to, you butts.
All right, speaking of butts, upset, but I'd still buy a 970. I think this is the reaction NVIDIA is kind of hoping for here.
I'm sure it is.
They know people are upset, but they kind of are like, well, the 970 is still awesome, so yeah. Too. And you know what's kind of funny is I remember thinking when the 970 launched that it was so close to 980, and yet the price gap was so big. It's almost like whoever was doing pricing knew that they were cutting it down a lot more than whoever was doing technical marketing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that actually does make sense.
So a lot of cucumber diorama, a lot of upset would not buy a 970, a lot of storm in a teacup, not a lot of butthurt, and surprisingly little upset would not buy any NVIDIA
and
product.
I bet you a large amount of that is people that weren't going to anyways.
Yep.
AMD guys.
I mean, to imagine that we have fewer than 7% sort of Team Red members in our audience would be completely ignorant of us. So
yes.
All right, we've spent enough of this show on butts and this topic, so let's move on to NVIDIA is in another bundle of hot water. Can you have a bundle of hot water?
I guess if you had like a waterproof satchel of some sort.
So
that was in a bundle.
I'm going to go ahead and post this link in the chat.
Like if you had a waterproof jacket.
Bippity boop. Oh, right. I have to
bundled it.
Span it now. All right. So this was a great little discussion on the PC Per YouTube channel, as well as on an article on PCPer.com. But there were reports running around, and this was posted by MVICon?
Mvitkin.
Sure, Mvitkin on the forum, and there were reports on the internet of some guy like, sorry,
did you post?
Yeah, I posted it already. Okay. Of some guy like supposedly modifying a GTX 980M notebook to run G-Sync on its integrated panel. And I saw the rumors late at night, and I kind of didn't have time to look into it, and I kind of forgot about it, which is kind of embarrassing, because I really should have looked into this. It's a huge deal. But PCPer ran out, obtained that exact model of notebook,
winner,
got their hands on the driver, that the guy supposedly modded. Turns out they didn't mod anything. It was just, it was an alpha level driver that someone in ASUS's like Nordic support team or something gave to a customer to try to fix a different unrelated issue. And then they had the G-Sync notification pop up in the corner, and it turned out that it worked.
Yeah.
So that's how that driver got leaked out there. And basically what they did was they took the laptop, verified that it worked, and it did.
Yeah.
So NVIDIA's Pendulum demo works perfectly. You go VSync on, no VSync, you get your tearing, you go G-Sync, and you get no stutter and no tear. And then they completely tore the laptop apart, piece by piece. And they claimed to have pictures in their article, but I'm going to go ahead and... here we go. So they completely tore it apart. Yeah. I tried to get Ryan on the show today, actually, but I think he's... I think his wife told him he couldn't come or something like that. So
wow.
You guys can give him a hard time about that on Twitter. But they tore this baby apart, even peeled back the LCD, examined every component. There is no G-Sync module. So this raises a lot of questions about NVIDIA's communication with respect to G-Sync as well, because they've been telling us we need a special module to communicate with the graphics card, and obviously the same is not true for FreeSync or for Adaptive Sync, the VESA spec upon which FreeSync, AMD's equivalent, is based. Because AMD's not making any claims about having a special module. The only thing they're saying is they have to have a GPU that supports it correctly. So NVIDIA's been telling us we need this module and that it does some stuff. Like it goes ahead and compares the data from the previous frame to the data on the next frame with a little built-in buffer. And they actually, PC Per's discussion of this whole thing says that NVIDIA's claiming they have some additional functionality they can potentially unlock with the G-Sync module in the future. We don't know if this is true. We don't know if it's untrue. We don't know anything right now, but basically there is no G-Sync module, and this raises questions about, well, why exactly did we need a G-Sync module in the first place?
I'm going to bring up some things. First of all, this is very much one of those things that I... well, okay, this is actually not very much, but a little bit one of those things that I don't like, where it's heavily kind of... It's not a rumor, because we know officially from NVIDIA, but it's so early on, and there's been one call... And there's a ton of speculation. They're like, oh, okay, it exists. Let's tear apart this one laptop and then not find something and then slam them for it. Which is justified, definitely, to a certain degree.
Yep.
But a lot of the things that are being said, including by you, I don't think are necessarily fair.
Not necessarily fair.
They may have needed a G-Sync module. They may no longer need a G-Sync module.
So, and NVIDIA's claim that they will be able to add more functionality with a G-Sync module, with its own built-in memory buffer and all that stuff, could be very true.
Yes.
That could be 100% true and 100% valid. In fact, it could be that mobile G-Sync, which for power reasons and complexity reasons may never use a G-Sync module. It could be that mobile G-Sync may not be as good as desktop G-Sync. It's like, in the long term,
G-Sync M or something. It could be an entirely different version, and that would make a ton of sense as well. Like I feel like because we're pitchforking. I'm using pitchforking because I don't know what the chat's doing, but those look like pitchforks.
I think those are pitchforks.
Because we're pitchforking NVIDIA so heavily for the 970 thing, we just immediately started re-pitchforking them for this one.
Right.
Before
when this
gaining
was
a ton of information.
An early driver that frankly doesn't work correctly. I mean, actually, again, Shrout from PC Per did a great job of covering this, because they even talk about, like, guys, look, it's not working.
Yeah.
They did manage to discover that the panel on this laptop actually is a 100 hertz IPS panel, which I certainly didn't realize. It's rated at 75, and we've got one of these laptops as well. And so that's super cool. But then they also discovered that it's running with G-Sync, but... when you go, particularly when the frame rate drops or drastically dips, and it's funny, they used Assassin's Creed Unity to demo that, but when it drastically dips, it can actually cause the screen to disconnect temporarily or even for a while. So it's not working yet. And their speculation, based on the conversation with NVIDIA, is that mobile G-Sync, because we've got better scalar technology now than we did back when NVIDIA was developing G-Sync, and this whole thing didn't exist yet, is that mobile G-Sync may end up being more of a certification process.
Similar to the FreeSync idea.
As opposed to just hardware. Now, to be clear, One of the differences between the way AMD works and the way NVIDIA works is that AMD has a FreeSync certification process, but that doesn't mean that a monitor that has the supported hardware but does not have the certification will not work. We had this conversation with ASUS where they didn't intend to certify one of their monitors, but we have heard, I don't have one of those monitors yet, that FreeSync works on it just fine. With NVIDIA, I would not expect that to be the case because that's the way they function.
Yeah.
They validate a use case thoroughly, and then they put their stamp of, this is the experience you will have on it, and that is how they control their ecosystem. So stuff like GTX 770 and GTX 680, they're the exact same damn card, with the exception of the GTX 770 has faster clocked memory. There is no reason why the GTX 770 couldn't have its memory clocked down and run an SLI with a GTX 680, at least without extensive tweaking of firmwares and drivers or whatever else to make it work. There's no real reason those couldn't run an SLI. That's not the way NVIDIA does things. AMD, on the other hand, allows Crossfire to run on an R9 280X and a 7970 or a 7970 gigahertz edition, all of which are sort of different cards, although they're based on the same GPU with the same memory configuration in much the same way that 770 and 680 are. So it's a different philosophy. I mean, another great example, NVIDIA SLI requires an SLI certified board, even though there's no technical reason it couldn't work on any board, as we've seen with hacked drivers in the past, and requires 8x PCIe operation, regardless of the fact that that doesn't matter. PCIe Gen 3 4X is plenty fast for SLI with a modern card. You can quote me on that, but NVIDIA doesn't allow it. They say, look, 8X is the minimum. That's what we validate for, so that's it. That's final. So the mobile G-Sync one, I think the takeaway is
we need to wait and see.
We need to wait and see. I don't think they lied. I think they wanted desktop G-Sync in our hands a lot sooner, hence the event that happened like months and months and months before we actually got our hands on retail monitors. And I think in that time, development happened a lot faster than NVIDIA expected on the third-party scalers that could be implemented in monitors for another solution like adaptive sync.
And I think this was not supposed to be talked about yet. This was an accidental leak that turned into a now kind of huge thing. And as we've seen from freaking Star Citizen, when you have fan interaction before something is ready, it's sometimes ugly.
Yeah.
So that's why I brought up the rumor thing at the beginning. No, it's not a rumor, but we just kind of need to wait until we get like an official working driver, stuff supplied from them to be like, yes, try this experience and see what it's like. Yeah, I think we can wait and figure it out. So, and I think, like you were saying, that there's going to be different G-Syncs. So it'll be G-Sync Mobile and G-Sync Desktop, and they're going to be, I think, very different experiences, especially because they explicitly said that there's features that they still have to unlock on the actual G-Sync module.
And there's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that NVIDIA is developing a better G-Sync module than the one they have. I mean, back when they did the event, before it even launched, they said, look, this solution's really expensive and produces a lot of power. We need to shrink it down. And I'm sure they haven't been sitting on their butts for the last year and a half.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'd expect to see a G-Sync module that allows for more inputs than just DisplayPort, for example, because that's, like, stupid. You can buy a $1,000 monitor with one input. I mean, come on, it's not like NVIDIA hasn't thought of this. Maybe it should have HDMI in or something along
those. Might be helpful for, yeah.
I mean, they're the only video card maker in the market with HDMI 2.0 on their graphics cards, and then their own display controller doesn't accept HDMI 2.0 in, so it doesn't make any sense. So
many monitors that I use on a daily basis have more than one of their inputs plugged in, so I can swap between inputs. That's a thing.
So the exciting thing here is that mobile G-Sync is coming. The unfortunate thing is owners of the G751, I doubt very much that they're actually going to get it, because it looks like this is a very alpha thing right now. But very cool stuff. I wish that NVIDIA was more upfront with us. I understand why in their competitive cloak and dagger industry they're not, but
I don't understand how people in the chat are trying to say that this is an NVIDIA sponsored stream. When have we been not slamming on them this stream? Anyways, sorry, keep going.
This stream is sponsored by Squarespace, Loot Crate, and iFixit. I just thought I'd clarify that. You know what? Let's do our sponsor spot. I'm excited about Mobile G-Sync, but I think that can actually wait. So let's start with Squarespace. These guys are kind of crazy. This is the second time they have done a Super Bowl commercial. So I'm going to show you guys the teaser here. We also have like an animated lower third from them now that
We had this last week.
Did we? Well, I don't know how much I like it.
I think it should go for a little while and then stop.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, wow, they have
like maybe if these lines and dots come on screen and then like form something, like maybe if there isn't the for free trial and 10% off click get started and those lines and dots like form into that would be pretty cool. Or if that's there and then the lines and dots form into the Squarespace logo, like the lines turn into the letters and the dots turn into the two S's. Branding. Yeah,
so I completely lost track of what you were talking about.
That's cool because you got that set up.
I'm gonna go ahead and play this. So this is their Super Bowl commercial teaser.
I love.
We're in the corner.
Listening to intriguing sounds when I drift off into my dreams. Others might.
You don't have audio right now, do you?
I've seen this.
Oh yeah, okay.
I told you before that I listened to the whole album and everything.
So
you released a whole album on Squarespace. Have you seen any of this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So you can hear Jeff's album. So this is Jeff Bridges, the dude from The Big Lebowski.
It's super weird.
It is actually super bizarre. Now, something I didn't know about this project. So his site is obviously built with Squarespace, and he's collaborating with Squarespace on this Super Bowl ad and all that stuff. But what I didn't realize is that this isn't some weird contrived Squarespace thing. Nope. This is something Jeff Bridges was legitimately working on.
Yeah.
This IKEA one is pretty bizarre.
Yeah.
So you can buy the album digitally, and the proceeds go to No Kid Hungry.
Which is pretty cool.
Or you can buy a physical copy if you're into that sort of thing.
When I die, there will be no...
I think the proceeds, regardless, go to...
I have contracted with Space Materia to store my remains aboard an Eternus satellite.
So I'm not actually sure that any of this would help me sleep any better than I otherwise would on my own.
There's parts of it that would, because there's parts of it where he isn't talking. But
there's parts of it where it gets super bizarre.
A lot of his speech stuff, though, is intended to make you dream about weird things that will throw you into a dream state. Like there's reasoning behind a lot. I don't know if it would work for me either. I'm just saying.
So you can get an LP or cassette even if you want.
Yeah, you can get a golden LP or a normal LP or a cassette or I think digital. I don't even know if you can get a CD.
So we've talked enough about Jeff Bridges and his
Jeff Bridges
project that's going on over here, Sleeping Tapes. We'll talk a little bit about Squarespace. So they allow you to make your own website that's scalable, fast. It runs great on your desktop. It runs great on mobile phones. They've got a bunch of great templates, all that stuff. They have that super annoying jingle that I think about every single time I do a Squarespace spot. Is that site up?
Yeah, it's terrible. I'm still working on it.
Oh, okay. We'll show it later.
Okay.
And I'll save. Actually, got I got the best testimonial we've ever gotten from anyone about a sponsor spot about Squarespace. So I saved it, and I'll share that with you guys another time. But basically, don't miss the Super Bowl so that you can see Squarespace's commercial. Or any of the other reasons that you might want to watch the Super Bowl. Also, for a free trial and 10% off, visit squarespace.com/Linus and use offer code Linus. I actually don't know if squarespace.com/Linus works anymore, but use offer code Linus. All right.
Yeah, I don't think it does, but the offer code does work.
All right, so next up we've got our iFixit sponsor spot, which I sincerely hope that I have the video file that goes with. So iFixit, yes. So iFixit.com/Linus, use offer code WANSHOW2 to save $10 on your purchase of $50 or more. So this is actually just some footage that we took of my iFixit toolkit that I use all the time. See that anti-static strap? Boom, it goes on a wrist, it goes on an ankle, which is where I usually keep it. We've got a bunch of little pliers and pokers and knives and all kinds of different driver bits and all kinds of cool stuff like that. I'm a big fan of the iFixit toolkit. Before they came on and started sponsoring the show, I had already done an unboxing of their ProTech toolkit that I had purchased for myself that I use all the time. And Nick's coming in here to tell me I did something wrong.
WAN show 02.
WAN show 02. WAN show 02. So this. That
Did
is
you
the offer
know
code.
that if you put a 0 before a number, it doesn't matter in mathematics? But it does in URLs. And codes. Because it still counts as a character.
All right, so guys, they've got all kinds of great tutorials. You can fix basically anything. We used their tutorial for our iMac teardown, which I definitely would not have been able to do, and might have even hurt myself if I had tried to do it without it.
Yeah, honestly, iMac teardowns super suck. So.
And finally, Loot Crate. Use offer code Linus to save 10%, which amounts to, like, not a lot of money, but that's okay.
It's still an amount of money.
And if you sign up for a whole year,
Yeah.
then it's
It'll add
more.
up more.
Yeah, it'll add up more.
Yeah.
Hey, do you want to do the webcam thing and we'll do our live unboxing?
Sure.
We
I'm
may
super
actually
down for
do
this.
another live unboxing on the show today.
Oh dang! People
Dell-
don't know what that is.
Dell XPS 13,
There we
suckers. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, let's get the webcam going on here. Add camera. Let's do the Logitech one because it doesn't suck.
It's way better, yeah.
Oh, it's not in widescreen. Why does it always forget? Okay, well don't look at me.
have
They
you-
can already see me. Look at my junk. The junk in this Loot Crate package.
Do you have the software for this?
Software?
It's super easy to make it go into widescreen.
There's software? I thought you meant for the
920,
Loot Crate.
not for
Nah,
the
it's
Loot
okay.
Crate, no.
I'm not too worried about it. Okay.
See, it looks like a NES, and then there's the controller plugins and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It looks like an orange NES.
Do you
with,
know
like,
what's in
stickers
here
on it.
already?
Maybe.
You cheated.
Nick cheated.
Oh, Nick cheated. Oh, that's right, he did. Okay, so we've got a Loot Crate Rewind. Oh, so this is kind of like the YouTube Rewind concept, where they pick, like, cool stuff from, like, the previous year? Oh, no, it's just retro stuff.
Yeah. It's just
Okay.
Rewind in general.
Oh, Rewind in general.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a shirt.
I haven't actually seen the shirt.
There we go. That's pretty nice. I love what a great value these things are.
that?
Because, like, even just a shirt is like 10, 15, 20 bucks a lot of the time to
Yeah.
get, like, cool shirts with neat patterns on them.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Linus Tech Tips has shirts available for $19.99.
More than a Loot Crate.
Much more expensive than an entire Loot Crate, which also has other things in it. Oh, nice. 8-bit glasses.
Yeah, and these are like UV protective, like non-terrible ones. Because usually when you find 8-bit glasses, they're like the garbage $5, like these ones suck 8-bit glasses.
Oh, I wouldn't give them too much credit. That UV
But
filter
they're-
doesn't look like anything special.
But they're better than any other 8-bit glasses I've seen. I will give them that.
Oh, yeah.
I might not have seen very great ones, but they are better. And they're orange and black.
These are pretty cool. Actually, these
like
these
LTT 8-bit
these go
glasses.
pretty well with the
shirt.
Linus Tech Tips thing that we got going on here. The 8-bit shirt. He needs 8-bit glasses now.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got in here? Sweet. It's shaped like a NES cartridge. What is it?
It's like a dude.
Tendo.
You have to build it.
Really?
Yeah.
So analog, retro-inspired products.
You know, take it out. So there's your cartridge, but then he has like feet and stuff, which is in there.
Oh, so he's like a little guy?
We should do this. Like, we should have the cameraman, like, pre-research products, and then you just do unboxings for them. So it's like Linus's discoveries.
But the cameraman knows what's actually happening.
Yeah, so if you're confused about anything, I can be like, hey, yeah, no, it's this. It's cool. And then you can be like, whoa, that's super cool. Linus's first impressions plus knowledge.
The best of both worlds.
Yeah. And then you can put, like, the gun in his hand.
I did actually figure that out on my own, thank you.
I just wasn't sure.
Okay. Oh, sweet, it's a light gun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And, like, it's often not... Like, this is kind of Back to the Future. If you can see the, like, it's Back to the Future E. And then the other one that we had was a Doctor Who styled one. So they're not necessarily NES games, but they're
necessarily.
Oh, I didn't even plan that one out. Oh dang!
All right, what do we got here?
This I actually don't know what it is.
Black Tie Geek.
Probably.
Okay, when you do the like established thing, it needs to be not like 2 years ago.
Yeah. I'm assuming this is just a clip-on tie.
Oh, look at Yeah.
Is it? Oh no, it's an
No,
actual
it's a
tie.
tie.
And it's kind of cool.
I always forget, and this is embarrassing. How much are loot crates again?
I don't know. I don't think they're very much though.
That's not bad. That's pretty cool.
That's like a decent tie.
That's fun.
I would wear that.
Look at that Space Invaders tie.
Yeah.
I think it's a little thin for you, unfortunately.
No, thin ties are a thing.
Oh, are they a thing?
Yeah.
I'm not fashionable.
I'm not either, so they might not be a thing anymore. They were a thing at some point.
Pocket Notebook, 64 paneled sheets. A notebook for when inspiration strikes. Cartooning tips and tarot balloon template for
cool. So
sight
it's
gags,
like-
character studies, and
Yeah, it's like a cartooner's
oh,
comic
that's
book
cool.
thing.
Did you really forget how much loot crates are?
Yeah, I don't know.
1337.
1337.
Wow.
Thank you, Nick.
Worth it so far.
All right,
This is their thing.
they always come with
Yeah.
this thing. So they have like people wearing loot crate stuff. Whether you're a fan or not, it's impossible to not love Nintendo for being a source of nostalgia for their games, worlds, and characters.
Unless you're a Sega fan.
Cool stuff. Yeah, unless you're a Sega fan, then you probably hate on Nintendo pretty hard.
I should
All right.
mention that it's 1337 for 1 month and less if you ordered more months at a time.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Okay.
dang.
So you could save anywhere from $1.37, I think, or $1.33 with our offer code
Per month, though.
to more, but proportionally less if you order more at a time.
Yes.
So here's a little pop-out foldable controller that goes with the.
Now this is. I
Foldable.
thought this was really cool. Be careful. It's a.
I'm gonna go and make it worthless.
What? All right. That's actually probably valid. You might as well show them.
Yeah, we might as well have a look at what's going on in here.
Yeah.
See, I'm a Star Wars geek, so you can kind of get my attention with Star Wars stuff. All right, well, it's starting off about like I might have expected. Okay. That's fun. I wonder, is this like a copyright infringement thing if we read a comic book on stream?
I'm not reading a comic book.
Like
I don't know what you're talking
Let's
about.
players would argue it's not. I
Look,
suppose.
that's the audio setup that's not fully set up.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, so thank you to our sponsors, Squarespace, Loot Crate, and iFixit for making the WAN show possible. Let's move on to our next topic, which is, I have no idea.
I don't know.
We actually have a lot of topics left, and there's like
Do we?
half an hour left.
That's
yeah.
cool.
So, because
probably a
all
good
we've
thing.
made it through is it's like the NVIDIA and people.
Do you want to slam on EA?
Yeah.
It's been so long.
Yeah, what did EA do? Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, oh, I can't control F EA. I'll control F microtransaction.
Wrecked.
This was posted by, and then there was one on the forum. Have you posted in Twitch chat?
I have not. I got
I'm
it.
ready. I'm ready.
Okay.
I got this.
All right.
All right. Control V. Wait, what? Oh, I think I did it wrong. Wait, really? Oh, freaking Google Docs does it now too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jeez,
Ew.
guys. You're killing me here. All right, well, it's from Android Police, and EA
That's
will
why I
be...
haven't noticed. I always do it that way. I open the website and then I link it.
All right, EA will be charging for gas in the ironically named Need for Speed Unlimited. Oh, No Limits,
Limits.
excuse me. No Limits, which is totally different from Unlimited. So basically...
Well, I don't know. Cell phone companies might actually agree with you. Unlimited for cell phone companies is 2,000.
Whereas
whatever.
No Limits might be something else entirely. No,
4,000.
no.
Oh, no, No Limits is actually 500.
No, there's no
Because
limits.
when you advance
no,
and you're
no.
a cell phone provider.
Oh, it's a 90s song. You don't recognize it, do you?
No, I kind of do.
Oh, that's a shame. All right. Well, at any rate, the brand tough meter, whatever that. Oh, this is a different language.
It's a yeah.
fuel meter.
I was like, what are you trying to read?
I haven't read the rest of it yet.
Okay, yes.
So basically, you can use in-game currency to buy gas for your car, or you can sit and wait for your gas to refuel on its own, which is exactly how the real world works. I'm sure someone on the team was like, how will we make people feel like microtransactions are a more natural part of gameplay? Wait, racing. Okay, so you can buy things for your car. Everyone needs to fuel their car. Bam! Instant success. Executive promotion.
One thing that executive promotion. One thing that I'm not entirely sure about because I couldn't really find it and watch it be in the article, but wow, people are doing the pitchfork thing and then putting an A on the end. So it's a EA pitchfork because it would normally have the E already because that's awesome. Pitchfork, not instead of digging. So EA pitchforks, Ubisoft digs. Eventually, we'll have a full farm of game developers.
NVIDIA backhoes. Shovels weren't fast enough for them this week.
Yeah. Anyways, I think it might be a free-to-play game.
Yeah.
In which case, that's totally expected, because that's how every single free-to-play game works ever, and this isn't new.
Yeah, it's just annoying.
Yes, it is annoying. One thing that I kind of found was funny, though, is that they still used gold. Like, what? Like, you couldn't use, like Karma or something? I know Need for Speed's done that before, haven't they? Wasn't it Karma? I don't. Kudos.
I haven't played Need for Speed since Underground.
That's probably a good choice.
So
right there.
Underground was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. Underground was great. What game was it that used Kudos? Maybe it was a different game. Maybe I'm thinking of a different racing game. Twitch chat's gonna slam and.
All right. Well, Engadget's article here. The FCC redefines broadband.
Okay. I'm a little confused on this topic. I thought they already did this.
No, they were talking about it. And it was looking like it was gonna go through.
So now it's like totally definitely through.
Yes, it's done.
Okay.
It's done. But the truth of the matter is this doesn't really change anything because it's not like the telcos have to start giving you 25 megabit down.
They just can't call their crappy
4
services
megabit
broadband anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the only change. This only changes in America. One of the folks that was voting on the issue said something along. I hope she was one of the people voting. Control F100. FCC Commissioner Jessica Rosenworcel stated today that she thinks the broadband threshold should frankly be 100 megabit per second, a move that would finally put the United States in line with the speedy connections available in countries like South Korea. So was 25 enough? Some would argue no. I would probably agree, especially if we're trying to call it broadband. What's the implication here?
Yeah, and a big problem with this too is when's the next time we're going to redefine this?
Yeah, really.
Not for a long time, so it should have been a lot higher.
4K TVs are affordable today, and 25 megabit down is not going to be, especially with the kind of data cap that's going to come with that speed of connection, is not enough for you to be watching your 4K Netflix all day. Mind you, if you're watching 4K Netflix all day, I mean, what do they have, like 4 shows in 4K? I mean, you probably watch a lot of the same shows.
Slick is sick, slick is sick. There we go.
What do you mean? He says he's going to start a monthly subscription if you say that. Till what?
Probably the forum.
Netflix?
The forum.
Oh, the forum. Oh, okay.
So now he has to. Contract completed.
Contract completed. What are you, a hitman?
I saw video game mechanics in Twitch chat, and I had to it was like quest acquired, say this twice, and I was like, sure. Completed the quest, contract completed. He now has to go sign up on the forum. Boom. Done.
All right, so we haven't done some of the credits for people posting things on the forum. The Boney King posted at least one of the bazillion topics on the forum related to the NVIDIA thing. Carlos Rex also in there. The Midnight Narwhal was in there somewhere. Sergeant Ballistic posted the FCC thing. And Top War Gamer posted this next one. The original article here is from VentureBeat. So let's go ahead and drop that in the Twitch chat. We'll drop that, drop that, VentureBeat.
God. One thing that's been constantly confusing about this article for me is they didn't drop Flash.
No, but they changed the default.
Yeah, but like the title is freaking dropped. Like I saw this everywhere before I read it. And like the title everywhere is, they dropped Flash. And I'm like, wow, that's a really aggressive move. This is going to be a lot of like older stuff that's Flash, and it's not going to work at all.
It's like how you're intended to read the title.
Yeah.
How the title actually... Oh, wait, that.
By default. Just like kind of hitched on the back. I'm like, okay, sure.
All right, so this brings with it a few significant advantages. So number one, and this is going to be great for folks who had their non-broadband redefined but haven't actually had their speeds increased. We are going to get adaptive bitrate streaming to quickly and seamlessly adjust resolution and bitrate depending on the network connection. Cool. Media source extensions, so that was what I just said. The VP9 video codec will be used, which is higher quality video and and an average bandwidth decrease of 35%. Okay, encrypted media extensions. So lets content providers use a single HTML5 video player across a wide range of platforms. Web RTC, so real-time communication, lets internet users communicate in real time.
Oh my god. This is amazing.
So using a compatible browser from broadcasting tools from within the browser, and full screen APIs, immersive full screen experiences with a standard HTML interface. Cool. So HTML5 is doing what it's supposed to be doing, making the web seamless and good and content rich.
Just generally better. Yeah, this might not be new for everyone, because I know a lot of people have been using Force HTML5 in Firefox for a long time, and various other solutions and various other browsers, but it's always cool when they change defaults.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of people that aren't going to change the defaults on things.
And they didn't just change the default on Chrome, which has been kind of a Google thing. It's like, yay, the latest experience if you use Chrome, haha! They've changed it on Chrome, IE 11, Safari 8, and beta versions of Firefox.
Which, knowing Firefox, that means you'll have it pretty soon.
Yeah. You know what? I was using, my wife uses Firefox still as her default browser. And so I was using her computer, and I went to search for something, and I was like, WTF, Yahoo search. And then I was like, oh, right, yeah, that. It's fine.
Yeah. I told you about that.
I know, I didn't believe you.
Yes.
But Bing is terrible, and like immediately.
But Yahoo is powered by Bing in the back end.
How is this possible?
Mind explosion. And Bing is apparently...
why is Bing so crap?
Bing, judging by Google blog, which I don't really know if is actually Google or not at this point, Bing is apparently stealing from Google.
But that was a long time ago. Maybe they're not anymore?
Not that long ago.
Yeah.
And the way that they figured it out was actually really good. It was like the old cartographer trick thing. You put the fake town... And then you see if other people copy your fake town. It's the same idea. They put a completely fake search thing. And then they searched it on Bing, and it came up with the same thing that Google did. And it was totally fake. It was to some like random website that had nothing to do with the string that they typed in. It was nowhere on the website.
Right.
And then it showed up on Google because they implanted it there. And it showed up on Bing as well. So apparently Bing was stealing stuff from Google.
Okay.
Apparently Yahoo officially takes things from Bing. So like it's all possibly flooding down from Google, but then the other ones aren't as usable.
Why is it that Bing's results are always so bloody useless?
I don't know. And I installed Windows 10. I told you that for a little while.
Yeah.
And Cortana was garbage, completely ignoring the fact that she like is never able to do anything. So forcibly opens a new tab and Bing searches it, which is the least elegant way of doing that. Like if you don't know the answer, please just don't answer or tell me that you don't know. Don't be like, I'm gonna just open either a new window if you don't have one open, and like force it to the front, or I'll open a new tab, force that to the front of everything that you're doing, and just Bing search it, which will never give me the right result. But yeah, her ability to pick up speech is very bad in my opinion. I don't know. That was a terrible experience. But hopefully they fix it. Hopefully Timmy Tech's watching, because he was not super happy when I was complaining about Cortana. But it's garbage. So there you go. There's my overall impression. If you want to do anything other than like start playing random music on your computer, there's no point in having Cortana.
That's something that, you know what's funny is I found after our discussion last week about voice control and where we got all annoyed with each other, I'd say that was probably about our fourth best. Our fourth best on-camera tiff. Yeah, I was using it.
I think voice control is extremely important.
Yeah. I don't want to have the conversation.
And I think it will be great.
Yeah, the point is, this week I found myself using it a fair bit, and using it for things where it was really useful, and then using it for things where it was totally rubbish. And the funny thing about that is one of the experiences I had with it, where I was just like, yeah, this is never going to be useful for this, was playing music. And I remembered you telling me.
Well, no, the only reason why it was useful was you just say, hey, Cortana, can you play some music?
Well, yeah, but I could do that.
Play.
Okay, Google, play music. And it's like, here we go. I'm gonna play music, and it's like, what music are you playing? Do I even want to listen to that? Oh, I don't want my Twitch stream turned off. Wait, stop. Okay, Google, don't play music.
Whoa, that worked? Oh no, you paused it with your finger. Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, holy crap. One thing that's really annoying with Cortana too is, you know how with like OK Google or OK Google Now,
yeah,
it will.
Hey, shut up.
It will hear you and then go like bwomp, and then you respond to it, right? Like it hears you, lets you know that it heard you, and then you respond. Like this is how a conversation works. It's fairly natural. With Cortana, which is supposed to be like talking to your computer,
you have to communicate like me.
There's no gap.
Hey Cortana, do this.
Yes, yeah. And if you don't, it's like, what was that? And then turns off the mic. What? Are you kidding me? What was that? I'm just not gonna listen to you. And the thing stays up, and like the circle stops spinning, but just sits there. And I'm like, are you still listening?
The next big step for natural interaction with voice control has to be angry interaction.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up. And your phone has to stop doing everything it's doing and shut up.
Yes, that should be a thing.
When that happens, then we'll talk again.
Hey Cortana, stop! That should be like a... Yeah, that should work. That should definitely work. And like there needs to be more settings, especially for the desktop one, because man, having it open a window or a tab and bringing it to front and Bing searching something, not cool. And like it again, if it didn't know the answer, I'd be totally fine with that. If it was like, sorry, I don't know, I'd be like,
okay, right. I'll go open a tab and I'll type a freaking thing in.
When I want to, which is probably not now if I'm busy with something and you're going to Bing search it.
The whole point of using voice control was I had stuff to do.
Yes, yeah. Like, so I'll do that later and I'll use Google, so go away.
Politicians are supporting Comcast's Time Warner cable merger with letters ghostwritten by Comcast.
Yay, United States.
We should write like
interesting to be a politician sometimes, because like the people that are paying you to do things don't even trust you enough to do them, so they just do it for you. So do you actually have to do anything? Don't they have like 33 days off or 33 weeks off?
Couldn't be.
Congress or something has something insane.
I don't remember what
it is, but it's a lot. And then like when they do decide to actually go to work, it's like, oh well, this was ghostwritten by someone else, so just there you go. So
I'll just sign it and put our official letterhead on it and all that stuff. So basically, email correspondence was obtained through a public records request, so nothing special. Showed that the letter from the mayor of Roswell, Georgia, was actually written by a VP of External Affairs at Comcast. The letter was part of what Comcast called an outpouring of thoughtful and positive comments about the controversial merger. This was one of many letters that were the same or similar in origin, and neither the corporation nor the states that the officials represent made any attempt to notify the public that the corporation had any role in writing the letters. So this got me thinking. Sorry, I'm going to completely change gears. I don't think we really need to have a long conversation about how this is BS and needs to not happen. So here's what I was thinking. What if we brought politics into the 21st century? So I run for office. Just wait. I run for office.
You can buy gas.
Hold on.
Okay. I just thought, you know the campaign bus. You could buy gas for the campaign bus. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
Okay, so I run for office with the campaign promise that every day when I wake up in the morning, with the exception of when I go to the bathroom or am being intimate with my wife or whatever the case may be, I wear a GoPro. Seriously.
A streaming GoPro?
A streaming GoPro. So if anyone wants to know anything that any shady, underhanded dealings that I was participating in.
It's too easy, though. I'm with my wife again, and just go to a meeting.
Okay, but I think people were gonna figure out that like I'm at the office and someone goes bing bong, and I'm like, oh, it's my wife. I mean that's inexplicable right there. What's my wife doing at work? Why are we having relations in the middle of the day at the office?
Well, maybe
her name is Monica Lewinsky.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I have to imagine it would be too easy to get around. But it is an interesting idea.
It's completely impractical for a lot of different reasons.
Yes.
There's all the privacy concerns.
I like what they're doing with the police, where they're getting the police to wear the cameras and all that kind of stuff. I think that's cool. I don't know if it makes sense for president.
For someone like a president, obviously not, because there's a lot of top secret stuff. But for someone like a municipal official, I can't imagine they're doing anything top secret.
No.
I see no reason why people shouldn't have a live feed to the conversation we're having about why the toll on this bridge is so bloody much. And you're doing this other stupid thing with the taxpayers' money.
I do think that should be a thing. And every, the municipality of whatever, on their website, they should just have an area where you can click on it. It just has a log of all the videos. They just have a YouTube account. It does every meeting, every gathering of people that they have, just whatever, just stream it.
But I was thinking,
some dude is going to be interested.
The social media politician would be a really interesting new concept.
Well, the social media astronaut is a big deal right now.
Yep.
So the social media politician would also make a ton of sense.
Like if it was just
and certain politicians have done that to a degree.
Some of them have done it a little bit, but I think
Not enough.
no one's really outed themselves over controversial decisions that they've had to make or they've been involved in. Whereas I think the true social media politician would have to just say, and you know what, they'd end up getting kicked out immediately. Like, we knew this was going to happen, but it would be an interesting experiment because it would be like, blah, 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 had this conversation, blah, 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 obviously doesn't understand the issue. And then the next day, when it turns out that other person was right, they'd have to be, yep, turns out, I was completely wrong. This, like, if we actually had a stream of consciousness feed.
That'd be interesting. I actually wouldn't mind that because one thing that I think is a little, all right.
Apparently Rand Paul is doing this. Who the devil is Rand Paul? Gotta be American.
That's an American, yeah. Some dude said that he's gonna sign up as a contributor to the forum for a year if I say AMD eats NVIDIA. So I just said that. Thanks for your...
Wow, that you could be a politician.
Yeah, I don't know. That could work. I could rally for more internet and better computer labs and high schools and stuff like that. Investment less into Hollywood and more into game development.
Rand Paul tweets fake phone call between Jeb Bush and someone.
Fake phone call. That wasn't, I think, really what we meant by all of this.
Slams Bush hypocrisy on something. Anyway, I think the video feed of meetings would be really interesting. Like, yes. if we could just see what complete idiots a lot of these people are.
Yeah, I think that would heavily affect voting.
All right, so let's move on. Cooler Master is doing the Case Mod World Series, and it's actually, what's really funny is the most unusual thing about the Case Mod World Series was I someone that I used to work with at OCZ started favoriting my tweets and replying to stuff that I was saying all of a sudden. I was like, what the devil does Jess want all of a sudden? We haven't talked in 2 years. And it turns out that OCZ is one of the sponsors of the Case Mod World Series. I was like, oh, okay, she's following the stuff that I'm saying about this. So what's cool about this is that you've got about a week to enter. So not a whole lot of time, but unlike a lot of the other modding contests where it's like, yeah, we've got great prizes of hardware that the top modders have unlimited access to. This one has some prizes provided by Dremel, which is a little unusual. Tool companies get involved in car modding stuff, but generally not in computer modding stuff. So this is a whole other level of acknowledgement.
That's super cool.
The community's never seen
before. And Dremel
before.
is a big deal in the PC community, but the fact that they're acknowledging that they're a big deal in the PC community is actually kind of cool.
That's really neat. And the other really cool thing about this one is anyone can register, and unlike most case modding competitions that I've seen, there are different tiers. So you don't have to compete against heavyweights if you're a beginner modder. So yeah, you guys should check it out.
How do the tiers work?
It's mod.coolermaster.com. I think there's about $25,000 in prizes, up to $2,000 cash prize. So first place X1, second place X1, tower builds, scratch build, people's choice, rising star. So there's a new category where our judges select the most promising young star in the modding scene. So someone who's relatively unknown. Very, very cool. So there you go. There's a bunch of cool stuff. Mod.coolermaster.com. Awesome. They've got the winners from last year. This isn't the first time they've done it. It's sponsored by Intel, Asus, Cooler Master, presumably. Although, this is funny. Their logo's not down here. I mean, they have one up here. But, sponsored by, and Cooler Master is not on here at all.
Well, it's the Cooler Master Case Mod World Series sponsored by these guys.
Hey, we're a media partner.
That's cool.
Nick does all kinds of things. Some days I'm not sure what it is, but...
We're not the first media partner?
No, apparently BitTech.net is first.
Yeah.
Damn you, BitNet!
BitNet.
BitNet.
Man, then I said .net. I'm not doing great right now.
Did you have another one of those weeks? BitNet?
No, actually.
Oh, that makeup. Pirate Bay staff kicked from the website.
No one caught that one.
Now in revolt. Well, I did. I show up to the office and he's getting our makeup artist, who's actually here to make us up as Paul and Kyle, applying makeup to his neck. I'm like, gee, I'm sure glad you're using company resources for your covering up your personal time. All right,
she's gonna watch this and just be like, "Aw."
So this article is from torrentfreak.com. Pirate Bay won't make a full comeback. Staff revolt. So basically some admins and mods on the Pirate Bay are butthurt. We've decided that word is okay to use over the fact that they basically have been shown the door with the new, lighter Pirate Bay that figures it doesn't need a whole lot of staff in order to do its thing.
Yes.
And as someone who at least knows the administrator for a fairly popular but not nearly as well trafficked as the piratebay.com or .se or whatever it is they're doing these days site, I will say that they are probably right.
Yeah, although I'm sure their comment moderation.
Wait, wrong. They're probably wrong that they don't need people. That's what I meant to say.
Yes, yeah. I'm sure their comment moderation and stuff is not really. I bet you most of those guys are mainly focused on just keeping the website alive, more than anything. I bet you it's slightly different than what we do.
So basically, the guys that are splitting off are going to make their own site with blackjack and hookers, presumably, and basically they have a backup of the Pirate Bay site before it went offline, and they're just going to start their own thing.
The seemingly lead guy behind it, the WTC SWE, is very openly very mad.
Yeah, something
there's
along the lines
pretty
of
golden quotes.
Horse plop or something. Yeah, you know, Brandon, do you know the number of times I've had the conversation with him about how bleeping works on Linus Tech Tips? He left the word horseshit.
I know.
In one of our episodes recently. He's like, well, I didn't know I was supposed to bleep that. Whereas he bleeped ass in the Stormtrooper rap. And I'm just like, TV rules, man.
Yeah.
TV rules. You watch TV. He's like, I watch HBO. And I'm like,
but one of my
okay.
I still don't understand this about our censorship, which you think is okay. I still don't.
Okay, we're gonna straw pull this because I know where you're going.
Okay.
I'm gonna straw pull this.
If you're saying a word, and let's say it's FUCK, and you say you can fully hear someone say F. You can fully hear someone say F, and then you hear them start the U, and then they drag it out for a long time, and you bleep, and then the bleep goes away before the U is done being said. So F-U bleep CK.
So you very definitely obvious what you said.
You definitely hear every single part of the word. There is zero question about it. If you cut out the bleep, it is the full word and it was pronounced perfectly.
Remember, we're talking a one-syllable word here in this case, where it's like, okay, so here's the straw poll, guys. So we're talking a one-syllable word.
Yeah.
So.
But you're not even.
You're if you have the sound of the first letter and the sound of the last letter, it's obviously going to be clear what you were intending to say, which I maintain is the correct type of censorship, because you're not actually trying to take away the meaning of what the person's saying. You are just trying to make it so you didn't say the word,
the U or the C. Or both, I mean. You didn't even chop out the middle of the word.
Well,
you didn't even fully chop out one letter.
Well, I think the issue with the one that you're all butthurt about is that it was a beep over top of the audio track instead of cutting the audio track during the beep. So that's part of why you could hear it so very well.
Okay. I'm talking about more than one, but that was probably the one that cued me to start talking about it. Yeah.
It looks like people are divided 50-50 on this issue.
Well, see...
So we're both right. We are exactly aligned with how we should be.
Part of this is I bet you some people are saying that it... Oh, bleep the middle of the word, bleep the whole word. Yeah, see, I bet you the people that are saying bleep the middle of the word... Again, it's not... You're not bleeping the middle of the word. That's part of the problem. You didn't bleep
Sometimes
out a
we do.
whole letter. Yeah, like there was it was not effectively bleeped at all. And then there's some people that are going to argue that it just shouldn't be bleeped, and like there's
I left that
there's
out
merit
because
for
I
that
was
as
more
well.
interested in
Yeah,
how
yeah.
it should be bleeped as opposed to that. You know, I think we can
Yeah,
all
see,
agree.
a lot of people in chat are saying no bleep, and like that has its own merit. But I'm saying if you're going to anyways, you might as well do it effectively instead of just
But see,
not cutting any.
I would make the
actual-
opposite argument. You might as well not do it effectively because I don't think we need to censor the word anyway. If you're going to say the word,
Yeah,
say
okay.
the word.
But
And to
then-
me, the bleep is like
Emphasis?
appeasing the censorship deities. That's all it is.
Okay. See, if that's the goal, then
That's
that's
the
fine.
goal.
Then that's fine.
That's all I want to do.
Because I don't really care about the censorship stuff either.
But I think we can all agree the wrong way to do it is the way we did it on Stormtrooper Rap, where the music
It cuts the
was
whole.
cut
That
as well.
was not how that was supposed to.
No, that was not.
I know
how-
why.
There were time constraints,
Yeah.
basically.
I know why it was a problem, but yeah, that wasn't the right way to do that.
That was a draft. That was a draft of the song. That was
Yeah.
never the finished version.
Yeah.
Wow, we have a lot of stuff left.
Does
any of it matter?
yeah. The Witcher 3 stuff is all kind of bull.
Why don't we
People
just do kind of
need to wait.
headlines?
Sure.
So there's new evidence of Counter-Strike Global Offensive match fixing.
Not surprising.
So basically, CSGO is a gigantic pile of garbage right now in the competitive scene, and we should all be completely ignoring it because there's match fixing, there's cheating at the very highest level, and until Valve can get their game figured out,
I've
and until
basically quit.
until the tournament organizers can figure out how to fix this, it just needs to completely go away, and all these people involved in this crap need to stop making money, which is a real shame, because for the honest players out there, this is their livelihoods that are being damaged by the actions of others, which
And there is a lot of honest
unfortunate.
players out there.
I mean, it's kind of like if honest YouTubers like us that are making a living by making YouTube videos all of a sudden have the credibility of YouTube as a platform damaged by other people who are... I mean, I can't imagine what you could do on YouTube that would be equivalent to this, but it's totally unfair and it's crappy, but until people vote with their wallets and just don't watch and just don't get involved, it's not going to go away. So that was posted on the forum by Rahif Kumar SP. Speaking of Rahif Kumar SP, he also posted that Bill Gates tricked Jimmy Fallon into drinking poop water, which is a bit sensationalist as far as headlines go, but this is a great segment, and we're just going to play it for you guys because it's awesome.
News and things you did.
And
So
hopefully
you chop it down a little bit. It's 4
Yeah,
minutes.
it's like 4 minutes. I'm going to skip to the stunning conclusion.
invention.
So basically, Bill's talking, or Mr. Gates is talking about, hold on, we have to get the Princess Bride sequence in here. So is talking about this water purification system where it's inexpensive and produces both electricity and clean water from sewage. So Mr. Gates challenges Mr. Fallon here to choose whichever glass he prefers, one of which he says has poop water and one of which has regular bottled water. So, you can't see that he's not looking. He's just like, look, I don't know. I trust you to be a good person and give me the glass with the non-poop water.
Yeah.
So they both drink. I'm going to turn the audio on here.
What do you think? Which one did you get?
Making sure that you drank it. All right, no, this one actually tasted pretty good. You just drank yours. Cheers.
You watched this, right?
I actually didn't.
Oh, it's great.
I didn't just because I knew what the conclusion was going to be said about it. But I probably should have watched it.
I'm pretty confident that this was the bottled water.
I didn't realize
That
I did
was
a Princess
rigged.
Bride thing, which is
It
really
was
cool.
all poop water.
So there you go, guys. The whole thing was poop water.
Jimmy Fallon always falls off his chair. He does that like all the time.
But basically, it tastes fine. It's perfectly safe. Looks absolutely fantastic. Mr. Gates wants to get this rolled out in Africa as widely and as quickly as possible. It's much, much less expensive. I mean, it's not like technology doesn't exist like this already today. I mean, it's space station. Where do you think they're getting water from? Recycling. Your tap. Where do you think you're getting water from? recycling. So it's just,
It's
not a new idea. It's just this new inexpensive omniprocessor way is...
I know someone who works at a water recycling plant in BC, actually.
Less expensive. Who does?
I know someone who does. You don't know them.
Yeah, probably gross.
Yeah.
It would gross me out to see what they're doing, but it is what it is.
I've been near their work. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't smell good.
What else we got? Witcher 3 footage is out. Obvious texture downgrade from the old videos. So this was posted by Death Jester on the forum. That's a great name for someone posting about something like this.
Yes.
It's like, serious joke.
There's a lot of like, okay, just don't pre-order it like you shouldn't have anyways, and just wait till it comes out. We'll figure it out then. I feel like a broken record sometimes. Just trying to get like the rumor stuff to just like shut up and wait till they figure it out, and trying to get this to just shut up and wait till it comes out. Don't pre-order it. Don't buy it right now. Don't do any of that junk. Just freaking wait till it comes out. We'll figure it out. Downsampling is not going to be, or Uber sampling, sorry, is not going to be there when the game releases. That'll be a big deal once it's available. It's freaking CD Projekt Red, so there's going to be DLC like crazy coming for free after it's out. So like, don't pre-order it, and probably don't even buy it right away. Just wait. They
are saying that the recommended settings are targeted at 30 FPS, but they don't say it'll be locked to that, and I really can't imagine it would be from those guys. And they're not saying PC and console will look the same, just that they'll be based on the same starting point. So I think this is a lot of freaking out over nothing.
Yeah.
And I think what they're probably doing is just demoing the same version across the board, so they're not setting unrealistic expectations for the users of one platform versus another one, which as far as marketing things go is pretty benign.
It's fine. Just wait till it comes out. It doesn't matter. Oh my god. I know so many people have been freaking out, and my general message so far has been it's very possibly a loss in translation thing, because he said something that sounded kind of like it could be taken poorly, so everyone just exploded over it, but it's probably just an equalization for expectation like he was talking about. And if you have a NASA supercomputer, you'll probably be able to run it great. It's a CD Projekt Red game, so for the first little while that it's out, it'll be very hard to run, and then better hardware will come out and it'll be totally fine. But yeah, just
all the more reason to wait and buy it later.
Yes.
So our next topic here. Oh, for crying out loud! This is really making me mad. Now that I have to open it and then copy the link from the URL bar of my new tab.
This is why I used to do it for you. Is I thought you were doing this because that's what I was doing. It takes so long.
Okay, so next one's... This is Intel's WiGig 7 gigabit per second wireless docking tech. That looks pretty freaking awesome.
You know a fair amount about this because you did the laptop thing at CES, right?
This was posted by Ming on the forum, and that site is not a thing anymore. Or that article. This was actually... We were going to talk about this last week, and then we didn't get to it.
Yeah. But you have first-hand experience with this, right?
No, I haven't tried it.
Oh, I thought you had you tried a laptop with this.
So it's very short range, 60 gigahertz, and delivers up to 7 gigabit per second. And basically, like, by short range, we mean, like, short range, like within sort of your desk. But the idea is that you'll be able to run things like displays, peripherals, even high-speed USB devices wirelessly, as long as you are close enough to your docking station. So this would be like a triple band Wi-Fi, 2.45 and 60 gigahertz, where the 60 gigahertz would be used for this WiGig docking technology. Truly wire-free in the tri-band AC17265 wireless module. So you've got your fast AC, you've got your 802.11 AD WiGig, and any laptop, tablet, or 2-in-1 featuring this technology is already set up to seamlessly pair with a dock featuring an Intel wireless gigabit sync.
Cool.
Pretty
cool.
Freaking cool.
I'd love to test this out.
Yeah, me too. I really want to
awesome.
try this.
Yeah.
Let me just see. It can auto dock with your device, with your desktop wirelessly. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Can support up to 2 full HD displays. So we're talking like 2 1080p monitors. You can just wirelessly dock with them, and they're claiming latency is very low. So pretty exciting. Cool. I'm excited. Ireland apparently will accept selfies for passport photos.
It's not. It's like a kind of more of a local travel thing, and within the EU thing. It's not like a full world passport.
So it's a passport-like ID card available for about $40.
Passport-like. It's not a passport.
All right. Apple made a ton of money. Q1 earnings of $74.6 billion in revenue and profit of $18 billion. Biggest quarter ever for Apple. By contrast, Samsung's profits fell significantly. It's hard to be an Android phone maker, hey?
Yeah.
It's like, yay, we have this free OS that we don't have to pay for, but we still can't make any money. Super unfortunate. Qualcomm confirms loss of a large customer speculated to be Samsung. This was posted by GeForce FTW on the forum. By the way, the last one was from Sir Numbers. Q4 earnings release, the company revealed expectations that our Snapdragon 810 processor will not be in the upcoming design cycle of a large customer's flagship device. Speculated to be Samsung, as they're set to use their own Exynos CPUs in the next Galaxy S because of overheating of the Snapdragon 810. So Qualcomm's expected earnings fell only by $0.8 billion, from between $2.8 billion and $28.8 billion and $26.8 billion to 28 and 26. LG has already confirmed it plans to use the 810 in its upcoming G Flex 2, which should make up for the losses due to this Galaxy S drop. Who wrote that? No, it won't. What, a Flex 2 is going to be equivalent to the upcoming S whatever? I think not! Oh no, I just swiped something away. I think I just archived something, and that is incredibly bad. Who was that? Uh-oh. Who was that email from? I should not play with my phone.
No.
During not looking at its screen time.
Anyways.
Uh-oh.
Is this the show over? Should we after party?
Sure.
Okay.
While I try and figure this out.
I'm going to start playing
Roll the outro.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
That's not the music. Can I just fix this?
Well, you broke it, so yeah.
You broke it. Look at how you're breaking it.
That's you. Did you iFix it with your Squarespace?
I found it in my loot crate, which is my pants.
Was your iFix-a-Kit in your loot crate?
Oh yeah, here are our sponsors.
Did you post a cool website about the fact that your iFix-a-Kit was in your loot crate on Squarespace?